Hey guys, Captain Matt. Well, I'm out on the sword grounds. We are just heading in right now, wrapping up the day. As you can see behind me, it's absolutely gorgeous, but we do have a cold front burning down through the Everglades right now, so we want to get back in before that hits here later tonight. Okay, in today's episode, it's a wild one. I actually harpoon a free swimming swordfish. So grab your life jackets and hang on, and welcome aboard. Today's episode, it's the most bizarre sword fishing trip I've ever done. And you guys have been watching them, you know there's a lot of weird craziness that goes on my boat. So today's one of the weirdest. So, hey guys, we are hooked up. We got one on here. Seems like kind of a smaller fish. I'm at about 2,100 feet of line out, or 2,100 revs. Right about 2,400 feet of line. Definitely. He was playing with it, and the rod kind of stood up, and it didn't seem like he was on there, but I'm reasonably sure we got a fish on right now. Just working him up. All right, we had that fish on for about a minute or two. He got off, so I just left the bait down to see what would happen. Hey guys, we are hooked up. I was just bringing it up, and it piled on it on the way up, so we are on. He is burning up into the current right now. All right, we got 1,800 feet of line out, or 1,800 revolutions, close to 2,000 feet of line out right now. I will turn the camera back on in a while. So we are hooked up right now. All right, so I dropped back down there, gave it a few minutes, and then I brought the line back up. And as soon as it started coming up, the fish slammed on it. We only had him on a few more minutes, and he got off again. We got one off. Okay, guys, I was just bringing it up. It feels kind of weird, like there's fish on there. We had that fish hooked 3 times in about 15 minutes. Hooked, got off. I started bringing the reel up. He slams it, got off. 200 feet down's the last time he grabbed it and popped off right there. Right underneath the bait. Right there. Tamara's on the boat. She's helping me kind of get stuff ready. I'm pulling the line in, trying to figure out what's going on. And the fish follows the bait to the boat. Where is he? I see him he was just swimming under the bait. There he is, right there. See him? Yeah. There he is. Should I harpoon him? Hold the camera. I need the line. Look at him right there. I got it. The sun was at a really weird angle there. You couldn't tell. The fish just kept following the bait. I'd let it go back, and he'd take off and follow it again. Well, he came around the back of the boat. I hit him with the harpoon, and now he is taken off. Obviously, the captain was not 100% ready for that action. So I've got a 1,000-foot spool here. I've got the clip on one side so it can just free spin. That thing is torquing out some line. You can see the line peeling off that. As he's burning the line off the spool, once we got back to the dock and re-spooled this thing, I figured he had almost 700 feet of line he had pulled out on us. So I'm just holding on to it, letting him go. I've got the buoy there. If the line gets tangled, I'm throwing the whole thing overboard at this point. But until then, I'm just going to hang on to it and let him burn the line off. Tamara shut the motors off on the boat. We're kind of in uncharted territory here, so to speak, because I've never harpooned one that did not have least the hook in him for part of the time. All right, clean him off for a little bit here. If I get the mess straightened out, we'll lose him, we'll lose him. Stupid fish. Come grab the line, try to hold on to this thing. I don't know what you do now. All right, so that fish settled down. You guys seen me kind of just working the line there, getting it tied off to the back cleat. I'm just making sure he ain't taking off again. And he's way down there, guys, about 700 feet of line out. So now I'm going to start pulling it up. I'm just going to coil it on the floor here initially, talking to Tamara about, hey, this might happen, that might happen. Rule 1, nobody gets their feet in the line if the fish takes off. Tamara's getting the gloves out for me here because you don't know what's going to happen. You know you're going to need a little hand protection as this going. She's going to probably grab the camera here and keep filming. I'm going to start working the fish up. So this fish does not have a fishing line in him at all. The only thing he's got in him is a harpoon. We're getting the gaff ready, obviously, and just kind of getting prepared. I'm just holding on to the fish here, just testing him. I know I can pull him at this point. So I was just kind of holding him there, just getting a feel in case I need to burn some more line off with him. But I felt it was time to start slowly bringing him up. And guys, this doesn't happen in 2 minutes when you got 700 feet of line. You can see the spool there is almost towards the end. And that's a 1,000-foot spool of 1/4 inch line that I've got on the. I've got Tamara pulling on the line there where she can feel the fish. Away we go. Mr. Swordfish gets off at the boat. Not his day. All right, just keep your feet out of the loop in case he goes again. Yeah, we had him off. He got off right there. Now,
Wonder how many times that actually happens where they get off right at the boat. Well, you've had it how many times? 3?
It happens frequently. You got about, what, 500 feet of line out the way this looks? It's got about half that spool. All right, guys, so we got a plan going here. I'm pulling the rope in. I'm leaving about 20 feet or so on the floor. I've got Tamara to my left. You can't see her, but she has the spool. So she's reeling the rope in as I'm gradually pulling it in. We're working as a team here on this. So she's gradually winding it up. As I look down, I'm making sure I got at least 30 feet on the floor in case that fish decides to bolt and I got to let it go and grab the spool from her. I'm going to need a second or so, and I need probably 30 feet of line is what I'm estimating in this situation. So we're working back and forth here. I'm watching it's not tangled on my feet. I'm watching what Tamara's doing, making sure I got enough line in case that thing takes off. And remember, guys, once they can go up to 60 miles an hour. So when one of them takes off, he's going to cover a lot of water really, really fast, and you need to be ready for that just in case. Give me about 20 feet, just go slow, we'll let it go at the same speed I'm going now. If I have to peel that off, that's going to be a giant mess. You got to. If he takes off, I'm going to have to drop the rope.
Okay.
You can't have it all the way tight. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because if he goes, he's going to be going. Some more hand lining here as we were chatting back there. You know, it gets exciting when you got a fish on. You never know what's going to happen. So as you're pulling on the fish, it's exciting. People forget what we're doing. You got to be very conscientious. One of the people on the boat's got to be paying attention, guys. So like there again, safety, we're talking in between. Tamara was getting the rope just a little too tight. If that fish would have taken off, then we're going to have an issue. So again, hand cranking some more of the 700 feet of line. So when we got back, I unspooled it to where we had started hand winding it and respooled it back up for.
I don't have him yet. Let me see. Here comes something. Or something. Yeah, he's coming up right here, Tamara.
Okay.
Nope, don't reel any more up in case he starts going.
Okay.
We got the fish right here. All right. Grab the food. Get up. Why is this all like that? There we go. It's about a 50-incher. So you can lay that down, huh? Or whatever. So out of the glove things,
Okay, what are we doing?
I'm gonna need all the gloves. I'm gonna need the 2 metal gloves in there.
Okay, here you go.
Soft for me. Alright, the other one will go on top of it. Okay, other hand. Where's the thumb? Okay, I can see it. Easy. You're pushing me out of the boat. Okay, pull it off just a little bit. 2 in 1 hole or something. Okay. All right. This is the end of the harpoon. 50. He's like, he's 52 inches, somewhere right in there. Hooked him on the way up. All of a sudden the weight started acting really squirrely. And I get it up and it's like, God, I pull the weight off and there's a fish hanging on it.
All right, guys, I've had a whole bunch of you ask me just in person the last couple weeks, why do you pressure wash the fish? How do you clean a swordfish? So this is a clip I did in another video. I'm just re-showing you guys the clip on how you take care of them, how you pressure wash them, why you pressure wash them. So here we go.
Really, really cold. Okay, that's how it's supposed to be. We've got the pressure washer. We're going to clean the fish up. I've got the cooler set up. I've got the Sawzall. That comes in handy when you want to, take the tail off the fish and stuff. Their backbone's pretty big. You can cut it with a knife, but I like the Sawzall. I got 4 knives on the table ready to roll. Water, pressure washer. I'm going to film this as I go. I'll put it on fast forward for you guys so you don't have to sit and watch every little detail. But here we go.
Okay, here we go. Obviously, got to get the fish out of the bag first thing. Once I got the fish out of the bag, I'm going to pressure wash it. You'll see kind of the dirt running off the side of the fish there. They're very dirty, so once you hit them with the pressure washer, that's an oscillating tip on it. It's an electric pressure washer. It doesn't have, a ton of power, so you're not going to hurt the fish at all. But it's a lot faster to do this with the pressure washer than to clean them up with a brush or something. Next, I'm going to take the sword off. You kind of go behind the eye to cut the sword off. I'm going to put the sword in my minnow trap and hang it in the canal for about a week here. After about a week, everything will eat off all the flesh basically, and all you'll be left with is the bone of the sword. So now I'm going to cut off the tail, the fins, just get down to the basic fish body per se. Or I can get it over on the fillet table and start working on it here. So what I like to do is once I get it over to the fillet table, I'm going to take and section the fish down here. one more fin to cut off, cleaning up the sawzall, obviously. So I'm going to cut 2 sections off each side of the fish here. I want to get that meat back into the cooler ASAP. So I keep my fish cleaning table very, very clean. I clean it with Dawn and water and a little bit of bleach before I start. So here I'm taking the sides off the fish. As soon as I get the sides off the fish, I'm going to put them into the cooler. The cooler is already chilled with ice, so I like to keep the fish as cold as possible. I don't leave my fillets sitting out. So there you see a good look at a cross section of one, but yeah, it popped right into the cooler. I'm going to take this side off, do the same with the other side, and then I'll start processing the fish from there piece by piece.
Guys busy working on the fish here, and I got a visitor, little manatee. Okay, these guys are supposed to be vegetarians. Watch this. He's eating all my scraps. That one got away from him. It's a little bigger than what I've been throwing in, but typically on a bigger fish, I'll cut it down the middle right through that bloodline, and you'll have 2 separate sections here. On a fish this size, I'm just kind of doing it all as one, but I'm going to fillet these sections out. This is actually the side of the fish. So along the side of the fish, there's always, in between the bloodline here, there's this little strip here, which is a little firmer meat, but it is excellent for pasta and stuff like that. So I fillet that out as well. But I'll show you how I do that real quick. I typically like to run the steaks about an inch and a quarter thick. So on the smaller one, I'm going to fillet out, again, I'm going to fillet this out here. A lot of the restaurants, I think, cook them with a bloodline in it. Personally, I don't like it like that. So trim it up a little bit, get the rest of the bloodline off. There you have about a, let's say it's about a 6-7 ounce swordfish steak. You've got the bloodline here in the middle, and in the middle of, running right down, this is the side of the fish, running right down the side, there's a main artery or something that runs right down there. I'll fillet that off, get this off. This will go in the crab pots.
Okay, so you see the garbage can I'm putting the scraps in. Every piece of the fish that I discard will be put into my crab pots, so none of the fish actually gets wasted.
Okay, so we got the bite-sized pieces here. I'll show you what I've got going in the cooler. So as we take a look in the cooler, I take all the meat and all the, I put it in colanders basically. That way any juice can drain out of the bottom of the meat here. I'm gonna throw a couple of the steaks in there, but these bite-sized ones are just perfect for pasta. I've done that a few times. They're excellent. And then all the steaks, I'll take and backpack them from here. Again, this is my last section here. You can see, like I said, you can see the bloodline running down the middle of it. So I'm filleting this out down to here, and this side I'm filleting out down to here, and just trimming up from there. So that's kind of the nuts and bolts of how to fillet a swordfish. They're pretty simple.
Hey guys, Captain Matt. Thanks for tuning in on today's episode. If you haven't had a chance yet, please smash that subscribe button. As always, if you like today's content, please give me a thumbs up on the like button. And if you have any questions, shoot me a comment. I'll get back to you real